Y'all played real well defensively over the weekend and made
We
some
did
really
play.
outstanding plays. So
Yeah,
just talk
we
about
sure did.
how well the defense has played lately.
Well, was really happy with our defense on the weekend. I thought Luke Alexander played shortstop as well there for 2 days as I've maybe ever seen in our league. And tremendous Saturday and Sunday from Luke, but a number of good defensive plays. Hopefully we'll be able to carry that forward, but we did. We played really well defensively.
How encouraged were you by the start that you got out of JB last week? The 2 starts, I guess.
Out of JB last week, both of them. Well, really happy for him, happy for the club, obviously. That's the type of start that you're going to need, especially, you're down 0-2 on a weekend, a Sunday game. If you're going to win a game like that, you need somebody to do something like that. And so it's good for JB to know that that's in there. Of course, he knows that, we know that, but you got to be able to go out and do it, and he did it. And so really happy for him, and hopefully we can get the same type of effort on Saturday.
Why do you think Connor has been giving up more runs recently?
The pitch total's up. I think the command, which was elite command there for the first 4 or 5 starts this year, has not been there the last 2 or 3 starts. And so the pitch total's up a little bit, and you start walking guys, you got guys on base, and that equates to runs. So the issue is a pretty simple one. The solution sometimes isn't quite as simple as knowing what's going on. But we worked on it yesterday in the pen. He was really good. His pen work from week to week is somewhere between good and very good. And so we need him to relax, kind of like JB did. Just relax and go out there and perform at the level that he knows that he can and the level he's performed at before. But we need him to be more efficient. We need to get more than 4 2/3 out of him, obviously.
Anything in particular that has led to his command issues?
Well, I think the 2 things, Will, that you typically go through a thought process and mechanics, and they don't have to be off very much, to elevate that pitch count, and lose a little bit of that efficiency. And as soon as you get guys on base, that single that rolls down the line, for a double is nothing with nobody on. Somebody on base, and now you score a run. It's, kind of that simple. But we've addressed both those things, and hopefully we can get streamline that middle thought process a little bit and get into the pitch. Really, what you're talking about is distraction. And if we can eliminate that and get into this is what I'm going to do in the next pitch, then I think that we can. I think Connor can improve the process a little bit, and just trying to get him to stay in line a little bit longer. And get into the backside, hold on a little bit, and get a little bit more extension, and get the ball back down to the bottom of the strike zone. Really pretty basic stuff. I mean, we're not at this point in time, or ever really, trying to reinvent what's going on, but we need him to. We just need to be more efficient. We got to get more than 4 2/3 out of Connor. That's for sure.
Whether it was Arkansas or Ole Miss or whatever, it seems like y'all played the best against the top teams at home and get another chance this weekend. Why do you think you guys have had so much success against, number 2, number 3 here at Dudy Noble?
Well, playing at home is a benefit for everybody. I don't think there's a team in the league that doesn't play better at home. Whether it's fan support or comfort or both or confidence or whatever it is. But we have great fan support, as here at home. I really couldn't tell you anything other than, you get up for every weekend. I don't think our kids are less inclined to be at their best versus somebody in our league as opposed to somebody else. So I don't think that there's anything there. Obviously, Ole Miss is a rivalry game, so that brings some emotion with it. But it's kind of like in our league, every weekend is on. And so I don't know. I'm glad we played well against them, and we need to play well this weekend.
So much depends on this weekend, of course, for postseason chances for you guys.
Most important weekend of the year, Will.
How do you approach that with your team? What kind of conversations do you have?
You approach it very directly, very honestly. That's what you do, and you do that every weekend. And I say that jokingly, but every weekend or every time that we talk, it's the most important weekend of the year, and it is. And your most important game is your next game, and we need to play well. And so, to answer your question again, you're very much black and white. You're very much direct. The kids know as much as you do in terms of the repercussions or implications and all that. And you need to play well. We need to get some wins.
What's your impressions of this Florida team? I mean, obviously a lot of talent loaded, top to bottom on that roster.
Well, it's an older club. It's a talented club. It's an older club. They've got some solid balance. They've got real power in the lineup, real experience in the starting rotation, legitimate frontline SEC bullpen closer. It's a good team, obviously. It's a good team. They were good last year, and they returned a lot of players, and they're playing at a high level.
What do you think of Riley Self's performance the other day for you guys?
Well, I was really pleased. He pitched twice last week, and I really kind of wanted to go 20 pitches to 40, and just kind of a common sense approach of bringing somebody back that's had some time off, but was really pleased to get him back. We bumped him up to 46 pitches, and I felt like at that point in time that was enough. So that's what was behind pulling him out. But he brings the competitiveness and an ability to come in and get some outs in the middle or late in the game that we certainly need, and was really pleased that he felt good again yesterday. So,
what's your level of trust with him as far as like high leverage situations right now?
Complete. Well, you can trust somebody completely in terms of what they're coming in, and then there's the reality of matchups. Running game, left and right, size of the ballpark, the ability to stay on one side of the plate, or the ability to jam, or the ability to throw a secondary pitch against somebody that needs to see a secondary pitch. And so, complete trust in Riley and his level of competitiveness, his health, those are there. And at the same time, you try to make really good decisions about the matchups. Do the best you can to put them in a position to be successful.
To see a team from the outside that's won, I think, 19 straight SEC series. Yes, they've got talent, experience, coaching, facilities, but is there something extra that you've got to do? Because baseball, just one little thing can blow a series.
Well, I think anytime you're playing good people, you have to do the basics at a really high level. It doesn't get very complicated. You have to get ahead in the count. You have to stay down when you miss. You got to stay out of the middle. You got to give them 3 outs an inning. You can't give them more than 3 outs an inning and expect to throw zeros up consistently. You got to do the very best job you can of keeping the leadoff guy on base. You got to expand when you get to 2 strikes. From a pitching standpoint, and when you're hitting, you've got to take advantage of when they make mistakes. I mean, they're really good, they're really talented, but they're not perfect. There'll be opportunities there to put a good stroke on a ball and square something up, and we need to do that with guys on base. And so you have to do the basics at a really high level. You can't be anything other than who you are. You play to your strengths. Our kids will come out, they'll play hard, they'll be confident. Regardless of who you're playing or how many series they've won in a row, the basics are still in place. And when you play somebody that's really good, your margin of error is a little bit less.
Stovey, just talk about the defense y'all been playing lately. Y'all really play well, not very many errors, and y'all made some outstanding plays too.
Yes, sir. Our defense is playing along right now. Luke Alexander's doing a great job. Me and him, he was talking about the other day how comfortable he is in the infield right now. And I mean, we're all playing comfortable baseball, so everybody around the field's comfortable. So that's why everything is kind of playing our way right now.
Gary Henderson said he's kept things pretty black and white as far as the message for this week goes. What has he said about this week, and what's at stake?
I mean, it's just for real. He's talked about how it's just another series. We can't make it too big. We can't make it too little. He said it's a good thing we're playing who we're playing, just because it will test us as players, and that's what he wants. That's what he wants it to be. He wants us to earn it. So. Is it hard when it comes down to the end like this to not grab the bat a little too tight, try to do a little too much, and it's such a big series? Yeah, I mean it is. You gotta. I mean that's what I was talking to Coach Gotro about earlier. I think yesterday was you just got to kind of get in there. You got to take deep breaths. You got to relax, just because you can't. At some point you can do it one swing of the bat, but 99% of the time you can't. So you got to get in there and you got to get your hit. You got to do your job, and that's all we focus on.
With so many freshmen and so many first-year players in this league, do you have to kind of relay that message on to them, having been through it yourself a few years? Yeah, I mean, the freshmen have done a great job this year. They have helped us tremendously. Foscue, Tanner Allen, Westberg, Rowdy, they've all done an unbelievable job. Hatcher,
But yeah, there is some of that where the older guys kind of have to relay a message of, hey, just take a deep breath, calm down a little bit, and you'll be fine. But yeah.
How good do you feel at the plate these days?
I mean, I feel good. It's seeing it well. I don't know. I feel good.
How long does it take to get a chemistry on defense with you and Luke and the other infielders? How long does that take during the course of a season?
Me and Luke have had chemistry for a long time. Me and him have played together for a long time, so we kind of know each other and know what each other's got. But the other people, I don't know. It's just kind of they're just kind of there. You practice every day with each other, and you go out there in the game, and it's kind of the same deal. So the chemistry, it just kind of comes along with reps, I guess you could say.
And Tanner's developed into a really good first baseman.
Yes, he has.
Talk about Florida's pitching, because y'all had some success offensively. As good as they are, you've been able to put runs on the board, whether it's the SEC tournament or 2 years ago in Gainesville.
Yeah, Florida's they're gonna have some arms, and we know that's coming, and we're fully ready to take on that challenge. Just because as a hitting staff right now, I mean, as a hitting staff whole, we're seeing the ball tremendously well. We had 20 hits against Kentucky. We put up 18 runs, and it doesn't matter who's pitching. That's hard to do. But yeah, we're kind of in a spot right now where we don't care who's on the mound. Mm-hmm. It's just an arm that comes from the same slot. It's going to be around the strike zone. We're going to swing. So we're going to try to be aggressive. We're not going to try to be timid against these guys or anything like that. But hopefully we can give them a little run for their money.